Right. Okay. So, welcome everybody. It's another week, and today we're talking about virginity. Now we're combining two topics, right? So we're talking first of all, we're addressing the issue of virginity and whether or not virginity is a good reason to get in a marriage or long-term relationship and to remain or stay in that marriage or long-term relationship. That's on one side, and on the other side, we're also looking at whether or not physical and emotional connection are the same thing. Now, let me explain. So, on the first side, like they say a lot of men, not all, but people go, "Oh, I like to marry a virgin," and we still hear that men still say that, this woman a virgin or whatever, right? And is it really these days? Is virginity still treasurable? And if it is that enough reason? Is because we know that being in a relationship or in a marriage, there are different sides to a person you have to consider, right? So is virginity like a hallway pass, if you like? Is that like the ultimate? Okay, this person is a virgin. That's does that automatically? Is that a good reason to say, you know what, I want to marry this person. I want to stay in a relationship with this person. Irrespective of other aspects or incompatibilities. That's on one side. And then on the other one hand, we see people who are very, and we're going to discuss this thing, they would discuss them interchangeably during the course of this session. Now, when it comes to, you see people who are very physically connected, they're attracted to each other, they really like each other. But does that also equal emotional connection? And if that is the case, then is it possible to marry someone you have physical connection to, but no emotional connection? Or is it also possible to marry or be in a long-term relationship with someone who you are emotionally connected to, but not physically connected to or attracted to? Gold, in your hand is up. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. So I would like to just say that this whole idea of virginity, if we take it way back, the way we're kind of civilized now, it wasn't like that. Though in their own time, they were also civilized, in quotes. So it was used to rate women, or maybe especially women, not just especially women. It was used to rate how decent they were. Because if they grew up in a decent environment back then, they are expected to have preserved their virginity. And in a way, because they were not exposed to those vices of men and, in quotes, those men and their kind of life and all those things, they come into a marriage very naive, and they tend to respect their husbands because of that. So they equate virginity to being responsible and to becoming a good wife and making a good marriage. You are listening to your man. That was then.
Yeah.
That was then. But if we not take it, fast forward to where we are right now, the morals, they have dropped. Like minus 100%. No, not zero, minus 100%. So the fact that you even see a lady who is a virgin doesn't equate anymore to being decent, because the things people even do nowadays, whether you're a virgin or you're not a virgin, you can't equate that with decency, because we know a lot of things, we're exposed to a lot of things. I can be wicked to a man whether I'm a virgin or not. It doesn't say I will be good to that man in a marriage. It doesn't speak anything about my morals. I may not even be well brought up. Probably I didn't have opportunity to sleep with a guy all the while. I was not raped. I was not,
it might just be the case that the hammer might not be broken, but they've done other things. They might have sucked a lot of pipes along the way.
Exactly. And most people are still under that, most parents are still under that virtue of being a virgin. So we kind of preserve it for them because of our parents, but the character are not just there at all. Like, it doesn't...
But is it also possible for a girl not to be physically a virgin, but also a virgin? That makes any sense?
Yeah. You can be a virgin, but you may have lost the evidence of being a virgin.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of process. Some people are not even born with hymen. It's a
Yeah.
medical possibility, yeah. So in quote, it might not be a physical virgin, but you have not slept with a man. So
Yeah.
in our definition,
Even cycling can lead to
yeah, so trauma, just
yeah.
falling, anything can happen to have lost the hymen. And then for the second question that you were asking, whether being emotionally or being physically, to me, I think it goes together, because first of all, what draws you to someone for maybe 50% of the case is your physical attraction. So
Yeah.
after you get attracted to that person and then you start talking, probably is, you know, you are getting to know this person in line of I want to date or I want to have a relationship, then you know, coming together, this physical contact, it breeds emotions. You know, you're not exchanging calls, you're not sleeping in a guy's house, probably people are not having sex, then emotions start coming in. So if you have
They're not having sex, what can I do? Reading Bible.
yeah, exactly, or there's a chop suey
Probably. Of course, you're having sex or sleeping with the guys. What are you doing? Reading the Bible.
and those are the things that now bring the emotions. So even if emotions did not start from the beginning, physical attraction can take you there, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you very much. That's really extensive. But okay, I think that brings us to another question though. Whether or not what measures virginity? Is it the hymen itself or sometimes the pureness in thought? So the hymen might not be for a girl. I'm going to come to the other side as well. For a girl, virginity is, like we say, the evidence of virginity is having the hymen, right? But there are other things that could have broken the hymen. But even if the hymen is still intact, but they have been sucking a lot of cocks in their time, or taking it from the back door. Would that still be classified as virgins?
I leave that to my opponent to answer.
Exactly. To respond to that, Tamara, what are you saying?
No, I agree with Golden. If one person should just answer.
Who is the opponent? Moyaki, are you the opponent?
Thompson is not here.
Where is our opponent? Thompson. Emeka, please, we need to hear you.
Where is Thompson? Emeka can answer. Thompson, anybody, Moyaki.
Well, Thompson has to come on straight away. Let us hear him. But go on, Emeka, if you have something to say, please, let's hear you. Anastasia as well. Alex, please, let's hear you. Joseph,
Yes,
we need to hear your opinions. Bukola, please. Sharon, let's hear your views.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I just want us to know that we escaped kidnapping yesterday.
Oh my God.
In Kaduna.
In Kaduna?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank God.
We were just talking about it like, oh my God, thank God that you're safe, man.
Wow, she said he's driving. She said they are out, but he's doing so.
Were you driving or?
No, I wasn't.
You were like
It was in the night.
At night?
Yes, at night.
Oh, Nigeria is not that safe. It's like those areas.
It's not that. It's not that. Nigeria is not safe. What is it? Not that safe? As if
exactly for the night. Let's try and avoid such. Please.
Let's be careful, because look. Oh my God. It's everywhere.
We barely escaped.
Oh.
So that being said, I believe that biologically, the female folks, the only measure of virginity is through the hymen. If cock has been going through the mouth or from the back, I don't think it biologically. The other measures that we've put in place, maybe pure in thought and all that, it is by our standard. I don't think that is biological. It is by our standard. Maybe they can be considered as virgins or not. I really can't say. Sincerely, I can't. But I believe that biologically, that is the only measure.
So, but would you then say that someone whose hymen has been broken due to, I don't know, trauma, cycling, anything, would you then say that biologically they're not virgins? Or would you then deny their virginity?
Biologically, they are no longer.
Even if they've never had sex.
Yes, yes. That's at least that's what I've been made to know. Biologically, that does not mean they've actually had sex, but biologically, the
That's what I'm
only the
saying.
only
So the actual, what's the actual definition of virginity? Is it not having sex, or because
the absence of the hymen.
of the hymen? Do you understand?
I
No,
think
I
you
mean,
feel the hymen. That's what I think.
okay.
You feel the hymen because that is what.
Our Messi and Ronaldo road the one is here.
Please let me correct you. I just checked. Virginity is not the presence or absence of hymen. It's the
Okay.
if you're never having had sexual intercourse.
Okay.
That's
That brings us back to
virginity.
the question of, okay, they've never had sexual intercourse, but they've had oral sex. What would they still be virgins?
They are vaginal virgins.
Now we only get
Oh, but
They are virgins.
yeah.
They're not virgins in the mouth, but they're virgins down there. That's one way to look at it. Thompson, it's okay. Welcome for joining us again. But the thing is, on one side, but what about on the other side of men? Men can be virgins, right? But there's no measure. There's no way you can measure it. Thompson, Tamara,
How can you know a guy that is a virgin? How can you tell?
if he doesn't know where to put it, I don't
By
know.
word of mouth.
By word of mouth, he might not know where to put it. I don't know. I just
Okay, no
any
wait.
opinion on
How
this
do
one.
you feel? How do they feel the first time? How do you feel the first time when you
Tamara,
are
that question we leave for our opponent to answer.
Bessa?
Open the that question that today.
medically, can it be proven if a man is a virgin or not? Medically.
I don't think so. No, there's no. Except there are other ways. I don't think there is. You know, but you know what?
Okay.
Also, it's very unfair that over time and history, the burden of virginity has been placed on the women, not the men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say something there?
Go on.
All right. Thank you. I think the issue of virginity, if we look at it critically, we are not looking at it in terms of biological terms or medical aspects. When we look at it in terms of, is that the reason why I'm getting married to somebody? I think it's more or less like from the moral aspect or from the biblical aspect. I think that's where it comes from. Because if we look at biology, I don't think any doctor will say don't get married to somebody that's not a virgin. That's not the case. The case now comes into play when you are now looking at it in terms of I'm looking for a morally sound, yes, or from the Bible point of view, I want to look at a woman that hasn't been in touch with a man. So it will be difficult, even from the Bible, they really don't talk much about a man being a virgin or not, because it's the man that goes for the woman. He's the one that is looking for a morally sound woman, as it were. But going straight to the topic now, I think virginity, like you said, maybe somebody has broken the hymen or whatever, as said earlier. The person might not be virgin biologically, but being that we are looking at it in terms of morals now, a lady might not have been with a man. But if you ask, now it now goes to the point where whoever is looking for a woman is the one that will decide what he wants. Like me, for instance, I don't like virgins. You understand?
You won't be the first man. I've heard a lot of guys who said that.
Yeah, I don't have any special interest in somebody saying I'm a virgin. I don't feel it's a big deal. I feel it's your decision. So if you choose not to be with a man, it's still your choice. It doesn't make you special or revered or something. I think it's just personal. You might be a virgin and still be very bad.
So just like Golden, same point Golden raised that it was also a reality. Yeah, go on. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, it doesn't make you a saint. It doesn't make you better. I've seen people being virgins and with a lot of bad characters. They just don't. And to them, it becomes a thing of pride. Oh, I'm a virgin. You should be happy that you got married to a virgin. And what's that?
Yeah, virgin with no character.
Yeah, it's just your thing. You just don't want to be with a man. And a lot of people that call themselves virgin are more spoiled than the ones that are not virgin.
That's what I just said. What about those who have not had sex, but they've swallowed a lot and sucked a lot of
Yeah.
pipes.
So it will then take us to the point that virginity is a state of mind. You might have had
Okay.
sex.
Okay.
Yes. If you've had sex and you find yourself decent and responsible to whoever you are espoused to, you definitely are a virgin.
Well,
Like
that means anybody can. Who's the measure? Who measures?
anybody can be a virgin actually.
Exactly.
You can
Because
be a virgin
who's-
to your husband. It's you that will prize your wife. For instance, you get married to
It's a lie.
somebody.
Sorry, sir. Nobody. Once you lose your virginity, you have lost it. You cannot be
Okay,
a virgin to anybody.
No, let me explain why you must be a virgin to
We
somebody.
need to see your camera.
Hold on.
We
you
just
be a virgin.
see. We
No,
just
let
need
me
to.
explain.
We
Let me
just
finish
need.
my own
I'm
point.
coming. We
You
just
come
need to
to
pray
your
for the
side. You
express road
talk.
not to be wide.
Thompson, hold on. Let Joseph finish. Thompson, let
You
Joseph
come to
finish.
your point. Yeah. Yeah, so that's my point actually. You are a virgin, you are a virgin because whatever you appreciate, is based on you. For instance, some people will get married to people that are beautiful. Some people don't care. It's your choice. It doesn't mean that the person that you call beautiful is not ugly. The person might be ugly.
Yeah.
It's still your point.
To someone
I
else.
will always say it. You are a virgin to whoever you are a virgin to, because they say beauty lies within the heart of
The eyes of the beholder.
Yes, if I say you, okay, let's say I'm espoused to somebody now, and I appreciate that person for the way the person is. To me, that person is a virgin. It doesn't matter what you think or what you know. And if people could learn this, there will be nobody coming to tell you, oh, your wife is a prostitute. I used to know your wife. Because you must appreciate whoever you are getting married to as whatever you appreciate the person for. That's my point. Thank you.
That's a very fair point. Thompson, let's hear you.
I understand what my chairman was saying, but the truth is that road way don't wide. We only need just need wisdom to just pass the road.
Something they can narrow the road. They can narrow
the road you narrow today only take 5 minutes for it to get to its normal point. Forget all those cream or herbal whatever. Now lie, you don't pass. And other thing is that I don't know how people fancy this thing. For me, I see it as nothing, just like as my chairman said. I don't really buy it. If you check for my comment, I said even a virgin with bad character is a prostitute to me.
I understand what you mean.
So I know they buy all those things.
The thing is, this issue of virginity, it's kind of, it's not very clear cut, is it? It's very, very debatable. But the main question then is, okay, whoever you consider virgin then, right? Is that, or what, going by Joseph, it depends on how you see the person, and they say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, and what, if your eyes, that person is a virgin, then they are a virgin. But is that enough, therefore, to then continue to be in a relationship with the person, or decide to marry that person? Can you all hear me? Is virginity now, however you want to look at it, is that enough to decide to stay in a relationship with somebody? Well, I just have given an example before. Even when someone had bad character, they say, you were lucky, you married me. Was that a virgin when you met me and all this? Is that enough to stay in a relationship?
No, it's not.
Virginity
is not enough to stay in a relationship.
So essentially, go on.
I think character, though certain people are shallow-minded, that all they think about is, I'm going to marry a virgin, a woman that no man has touched, a woman that no man had sex with, probably will make a good wife. Yeah. But that's a shallow thought, because there's in every priest, there's an atom of a sinner. In every kind person, in every human being, two ways, we all have it inside of us. We have every potential, every ability to switch up to whatever we can or we want to. You get? So I think character is what really, really matters. Not even the physical appearance. So the physical appearance is the first thing.
We're coming to that one. That physical connection.
Okay.
I'll come back to that.
Okay.
But go
Okay.
on.
Well, that's basically it. I don't think being a virgin changes anything. I've seen people marry virgins, and at the end of the day, the same virgin that was so naive left them. Like I've seen a couple of stories. Yeah. As in, after she just test whatever it is she tested, she wanted to explore more.
She didn't go back.
So you can't really, you get me. He even married her. She was even a wife. He married her. So there are different stories like that. Women, you can't just really predict these things. Because I married you a virgin don't mean you won't kill me tomorrow, or you won't be a bad husband or bad wife.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make sense. Character over anything.
Thank you very much, Anna. That's a very fair point. Bukola, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Austin, welcome. We see you. Golden, your hand is up.
I just wanted to quickly add that a lady who is good, like a really good lady with good characters, whether you marry a virgin or not, you are the luckiest man, because it's that character that a lady who is a virgin will show in the marriage, and the same character that a lady who is not a virgin will show in the marriage. So for a guy who is not yet married, my little advice is this: don't go for virginity. It's good if you are marrying a virgin with a character, but let it be the character that is coming first before the virginity, because that will sustain.
But that one is good, but they should not carry borehole around.
Wait,
all of us are not ready.
By the time you start having sex with her, if she doesn't have character, you see that if you are not giving her the satisfaction, she will still go outside to cheat on you because she wants to explore. But if she has character,
that's another way to look at it. Exactly, that's another way to look at it.
It's the character that will keep her with her virginity in your house.
Yeah.
Advice.
Well, Thompson, just saying. So, and I'm saying respectfully. So, some men like borehole. Just for your information. You know when men say, "Oh, I like it tight," I think it's generally because they have small dicks. That's what I feel.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Let's be honest.
We're not going to argue about size.
I am coming. You know.
No, Thompson, before bless your hand is up. Let's hear you. Thompson will come back to you.
Okay. What I want to say is what Golden has said earlier. Like this character and virginity. When a woman is a virgin, in those days it works for them. It used to define character. And trust me, our parents then do have, when they are virgins, they have the character in sex. Mm-hmm. A man will tell you that I've married a good wife if I marry a virgin, right? It's just that doesn't work for us now anymore.
It's based on that morality from that moral standpoint.
In those days, virginity and character goes hand in hand. But different now, it doesn't work like that anymore. So that's what we're speaking to. That's what I have to say.
Thank you very much.
Yes, in those days, that's like that.
Comment. So people are agreeing with me about this borehole, and like Joseph said, should get size. And hold on. Now Bukola has said something. Bukola has said that she agrees with Golden, and the virgins of those days are definitely different from our present day, which is true. And Austin has also said that they don't really care if you're a virgin or not, as long as I just want to protect my peace. And that's what we've always said. Peace comes from men. What we look for is peace, right? Men. And I don't care if you're pursued from, but my peace is, as long as I have peace, then you are the big deal. That's great. But now let's flip it. Let's keep talking about women and virginity. What about men? Before I kind of give like my concluding thoughts on this one. It's okay for a man to be a virgin, then women, are you happy to marry a man who's a virgin or who has been around the block?
That's what I'm asking. I want to know how can someone know a guy that
now let me finish.
Okay.
Would you rather be with a man who's a virgin or a man who has neighborhood carpenter?
How do you tell a guy that is a virgin?
You will know.
Please, can you tell? Can you just explain a little?
That is why you need to register in my tutorial class.
I read on the internet, they said a man who has not had sex before,
no.
on the penis is different from from a
Far
man
from
who has acted.
far from it.
That's not true.
No,
The truth is that
I disagree
the
with
truth is
that.
that
Let's
what I
Austin, wait, hold on. Can we wait? Austin's hand is up. Austin, let's hear
I
you.
was saying something before anyway.
Me too. I've not my question has
Okay,
not
sorry.
been
Okay,
answered.
after Tamara,
Okay.
after Tamara, Thompson, then Austin. Tamara, let's hear you go.
I'm asking, how do you know? Because how do you know a guy that is a virgin, not a virgin?
Thompson.
Okay, don't answer.
Can you hear
For
me
me
now?
to be able to answer your question, Andrew, I need to know.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay.
First of all, let's be honest with the way we prove our points. Let's not just be following book. Follow your own experience, because books are not experience. You see, a guy that is a virgin has this nervosity in him. He's very he has this I want to ask you a question. Have you opened a present that nobody has opened before? If you are opening this thing, it looks very fragile. The way he talks, the way he does something, even if he want to man up, like, let me not show this guy, it will still show in his attitude. Like most girls, if you want to know them, it's not by a girl opening her leg. You see the way virgin talk, even if she's educated. I'm coming. You are missing. I'm coming. So even if she's talking, she's dressed, they see this childish mentality that comes in. That same thing is in a guy. It's just that most ladies don't know. A guy can prove and act like he knows everything, but deep down in him and his character, he does not know. Girls, sit down, watch guys that are not exposed.
So
it will definitely come.
We could call that inexperience, and that inexperience could be attractive. Both the sense she agrees with Thompson for once.
See, a lot of guys can be a virgin and still be masturbating, and his dick will look like a man that is meeting a woman. Always.
Another thing as well, a guy masturbating, does that still and has not had sexual intercourse?
Yeah, his body will be built as if he had that experience, but deep down in his character, he will not be having that experience. But his man would look like a man that is always meeting women.
Thompson.
But that's the question. That is a man who
first time.
You said?
Was that how you felt the first time?
In every before.
It was a serious question. I don't know. Don't laugh. I really need to know.
Imagine they ask a woman this question here now. Will you answer?
Okay, you imagine this is violence. This is domestic violence. This is domestic violence.
Thompson says domestic violence.
No. I will answer her. The truth
this is.
Let's be honest.
Not because it's Thompson.
It's because it's me. That is why. No, I understand. You want to know my experience. Don't worry. I've gone there. I've done my master's in that aspect. Forget. You see, as for a guy, for me, when I started, like I said, I never had a teenage experience. I never had a teenage or 20s experience. So all those papa, mama, I really don't have those secondary school IQ. You understand? I started with an upper. I started with hitting the top.
High level, university level.
You understand? No, not university level, like matured. This matured lady. So it was like I jumped all the primary stage with inexperience. So I was just playing just playing that weak man while she was just teaching me. So when I started like an novice, but right now I'm a desperado. So it is how I started. That is why I keep saying it. I don't know how it looks like going with my mates. I started with an advanced person, and it affected my.
Maybe for the good of for the bad, we don't know. But if it works for you, it works for you.
When you say affect, do you mean in a good way or in a bad way?
Yes, for me, I will say it's bad because one, I missed all my those teenage experience. I miss them. I never had experience.
Something. If you don't mind my asking, how old were you when this happened?
Because my parents were kind of. My dad was a military kind of dad, so I wasn't exposed to women within. I was about like almost my 25 thereabout.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Because I was going to say you were molested. Okay, good.
Exactly. They molested me. They molested me psychologically.
You were already maybe psychologically, but you were already an adult. Because they still know for a lot of men, it affects them. Whoever they started with, they tend to become attracted to that kind.
See. Let me tell you.
I think that's also affecting.
It's not really about the male alone. It also happened to women. My grandmom used to tell me, said the way a woman started having a man is the way she will have all the men in her life all through. The way a woman start giving birth is the same way she will give birth all her life. If she scream, and so she will just born they go. But if she just quiet, because then I did this midwife, we have different experience. So women, if they are in their labor room, you will just pray for ground to open for you to enter. Why some you won't even know? Just a twinkle of an eye. No screaming, she will just give birth. So such women can just be in the room. They will just be like walking stick, like death stick. Their man will just be doing everything. Why they scream. So it depends on how you started. It will follow you a long way to the end. You understand?
Yeah.
Some women they are very shy.
Thompson, wait, let me just quickly address something. Goldie, you just put a comment to say that we should be careful about being too personal. And it's being recorded, and of course it will be on YouTube. But the thing is, that's the whole thing, of the whole point of this. Because it's something that I believe that if you don't mind the word Derry, you would say, right? So the whole thing, it's about sharing experiences and talking about real things. That's why it's called real things and being real. And I think that's one thing that I think that's attractive. But people want to hear real stories because they can relate to that. But again, that Goldie, like you said, thank you very much. It's good to remind people that it's being recorded and it's going to be out there. Thank you very much, Thompson and Goldie. Moyaki, your hand is up. Let's hear you.
Once again, good day to everyone here.
Good afternoon.
I totally agree with what Thompson and be saying, but the fact is that my own part, mine started when I was 18 though, not that I was that bad. I had a friend there. His name is he's my friend though, Yusuf. So he's way mature than me, like 2 years older than me. So he had a girlfriend then, and I wasn't happy because my mom told me then in secondary school that if a lady touch you or hold your shirt at all, she's gonna get pregnant to you, as you're gonna have a baby. So because of that, I was very, 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 very careful how ladies come near me in secondary school days. You get. So when I started having friends, I did not say, you cannot tell me, you're about to sit for your wife, you've not done that thing, you need to do it, So I began to think about it twice. Then I began to ask others, how does it work? Why is it like this? Why was my mom telling me if you touch a lady touch you, she will get pregnant and all that? So I said, no, it's not working like that. She was just trying to secure you for not being misled or not having issues in school. So I met that my quickly hand his own. He had his own when he was 17 though. That's what he told me. So he was not teaching me how to go about it. I should get a cream. The lady's a virgin. You rub the cream on it between you. Go in slowly. Don't too much hard on it because if you come harder, you might injure her and she will bleed so well through that period. So because of the bleeding, I was very, very scared of going for a virgin. Because I don't like around me. So the very night, that was when I was now 19, the very night I wanted to do it, I had a friend, their name is, I told her that I have not done it before, So, but I had experience because people have trained me over it. So I We went there, like they told me that place needs to be tight, you know. If you go in straight, you know that the person is not a virgin, but if it's tight, it's difficult. You rub oil on it, and that's all. So when I went through, man, it went straight, man. I was being deceived.
That was clear. Philip. Thompson said you don't need cream or saliva. No, cream will laugh. Philip, as said he has missed. Philip, you are still in the conversation. But the thing is, I think one thing I will conclude is, we get from this conversation is the fact that virginity is, again, is special for those who want it to be special, but especially for the young guys and the young girls. What we're saying essentially is, for the future, virginity should not be the sole or the main or sole measure, and should not even be, a measure for being with someone. Am I correct? That's the main thing. You should look at, how that person compliments you, how you guys work together.